New tonight, a person is injured after an off-campus shooting earlier this evening. We're live on the scene with more.
And the College Health broke ground on its new facility today. What the new facility will feature next.
We had a high temperature of 93 degrees today in Muncie. I'll have the latest on the hot temperatures in the full forecast.
This is NewsLink Indiana breaking news.
Good evening and welcome to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Samantha Erzman.
And I'm Tyler Brummett. Thanks for joining us.
We start tonight with breaking news. A man is in the hospital after shots were fired just south of campus.
NewsLink Indiana's Tony Sandlaben has been following the story all night and is live at the scene now. Tony, what can you tell us?
Well, at about 5:45 this afternoon, the call came in reporting a shooting at 111 South Dick Street. That's the house that you're looking at right here. That's where the shooting took place. An older male was taken away from the scene in an ambulance. We have no word on the victim or the condition that they are in, but at about 8:30, that was when police left. The crime scene was declared inactive and people were allowed back into the house. There was no threat to campus, and Police Chief Joe Winkle said more information would be available likely tomorrow morning. We'll for sure keep you updated on this story as more information does become available. For now, live in Muncie, Tony Sandlaben, NewsLink Indiana.
All right, Tony, thank you so much. We'll be sure to keep you updated as this story develops.
For those updates and more information, you can click on this story at ballstatedaily.com.
Now, Sam, it's really been crazy outside. It's been really hot, and everybody is talking about it.
That's right. Today's high in the low 90s, well above the average temperatures for this time of year. NewsLink Indiana's Joe Struess is at the weather wall with more information on the unseasonably high temperatures. Joe?
Yeah, guys, we had temperatures in the low 90s today. We were at 93 in Muncie, 92 in Indianapolis, and we were at 91 up in Kokomo. It's the last day of summer, so to be feeling temperatures this warm this late in September is very rare. We were almost 20 degrees above average today. We broke the record of 89 degrees set back in 1998. Later in the full forecast, we'll talk about the warm temperatures and how long they'll stick around. Sunshine's in the forecast and it's here to stay. And we'll talk about the first day of fall later in the full forecast.
The College of Health broke ground on its new facility today. The $6.5 million building will have a variety of amenities from a labor and delivery room to a virtual simulation lab. Ball State President Jeff Murn says having all these resources under one roof will be greatly beneficial to students.
The future of healthcare is having professionals work together as teams, and so now in this one facility we'll bring all those programs together so that these students can train as teams so that they're better prepared to work as teams when they're serving their patients.
Several local leaders were in attendance at the ceremony. The university says the project is expected to be completed in the summer of 2019.
After making progress on multiple platform points to start the school year, the Executive Board of Ball State Student Government Association now needs approval for a budget. That vote, however, was tabled at last night's Senate meeting. The proposed budget for this academic year is just over $100,000. Some senators expressed concern with how the money would be distributed. The budget will be readdressed at the next Senate meeting on Wednesday. The meeting will take place at 3:15 in the Student Center.
SGA recently approved on an extension of the Blue Loop bus route. The recent decision has been met with great praise from students along the route. NewsLink Indiana's Zoe Dwiggins has more.
Ball State University's busing system is a crucial part of many students' lives on campus. It is comprised of the green, red, and blue loops. The green and red loops transport students year-round. The blue loop, however, runs on a different schedule, yet many students still seem to prefer it and ride it more often.
I think what sets the blue loop apart from other loops is that it really tends to Greek life, a lot of Greek life. People live down Riverside, a lot of fraternity houses are down there. I'm in Greek life, so, don't have to walk 15 minutes down.
The Blue Loop is really nice because it stops at a lot of places that are more accessible for students. So it stops on Riverside, it stops right outside of my house and behind Studebaker West where people typically don't get bus stops at all.
In previous years, the Blue Loop bus route has run between Thanksgiving break and spring break. After hearing many people express a desire for the loop to run for more of the school year, Student Government Association Representative Michael Brandon proposed an extension to the route. The organization announced Monday that the Blue Loop will now run from early November through early May. Many students have already expressed excitement for this change.
I believe that the Blue Loop extension is going to be really nice because during the months when it's still a lot colder outside, it's going to be really nice so that I'm still not walking in the freezing cold. Just because spring break's over doesn't mean that Indiana's not absolutely freezing.
Reporting in Muncie, Zoe DeWiggins, NewsLink, Indiana.
In addition to running for a longer part of the school year, larger buses will also be added to the Blue Loop.
Also, Vice President Mike Pence will be back in the Hoosier State tomorrow. Pence is set to meet with local business leaders and families in Anderson to talk about tax reform. Governor Eric Holcomb, Senator Joe Donnelly, and Representatives Susan Brooks and Todd Rokita will all join Pence. The former governor will end his trip with the remarks to the community. If you're interested in attending that, it will be at the Wylam Center of Flagship East at 3:30 p.m. After those final remarks, Pence will head to Indianapolis for a fundraising dinner. After an ownership change, a Muncie restaurant icon receives an $80,000 upgrade.
Plus, looking for something to do next weekend? We'll tell you where you can visit for free.
Let's go for a walk.
At Bark for Life of Delaware County.
September 23rd at Morrow's Meadow in Yorktown, presented by Midwest Homes for Pets.
Join the fun with your furry friend.
And raise money for the American Cancer Society. We'll see you there.
So I've come up with a family emergency plan.
Great. What is it?
It's difficult to talk about, so I'm not telling you.
How will we know what to do?
You won't.
I'm so glad I won't have to remember anything.
And me too. Thanks for this, sweetie.
Talk to your kids about who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information.
So, I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Let's go for a walk.
At Bark for Life of Delaware County.
September 23rd at Morrow's Meadow in Yorktown, presented by Midwest Homes for Pets.
Join the fun with your furry friend.
And raise money for the American Cancer Society. We'll see you there.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. A Muncie landmark is under new ownership. Burkeys Drive-In reopened this summer and is going to continue to serve the Muncie community.
NewsLink Indiana's Mary Eber has the story.
They moved to a new state, quit their jobs, and took over ownership of Delaware County's oldest operating restaurant. Yet Troy Stovall and his business partner, Jonah Sizemore, embraced them after their second visit to the drive-in. Since opening, they have received an overwhelming amount of support.
We've heard thank you. I don't know how many times that we have not let the place close, and they're thankful that we're open. So
being around a restaurant rich in history has its rewards.
It's definitely a different kind of restaurant.
Burkeys for the past 5 months and has been enjoying connecting with customers.
I love meeting all the new people every day and hearing stories. We've had 90-year-old ex-servers come in here that were original Burkeys servers, so I love it.
While the reaction has been welcoming, the renovation was no easy task. Burkeys has been open every season since 1954,
regular-sized French fries.
and the new owners did not want to break that streak. By opening day, they had completed an $80,000 renovation that included restoring the original sign.
it may be stressful, and I want to rip my hair out sometimes, but still, even though this is what I kind of always wanted to do, this is what I'm always good at.
While the new owners of Burkeys have made some changes, classics like Burkeys Original Pork Tenderloin have stayed the same. While originals are still on the menu, the new owners also added hard scoop ice cream, leaving their mark Park on Burkeys. In Muncie, Mary Ebert, NewsLink, Indiana.
The owners of Burkeys are hopeful for the future and plan to host car shows next spring. In other news, a former electric plant site, in southeastern Indiana will be reviewed as a possible new Ohio River shipping port. State officials say a purchase agreement has been reached according to the Indiana Governor's Office. The Ports of Indiana Commission will complete a review by the end of 2018. The commission would pay $8 million to a redevelopment company for the 725-acre site near Lawrenceburg. Governor Eric Holcomb supports establishing a fourth port, but a timeline and funding source remain undecided. Outdoor lovers, get ready. Indiana state parks are letting people in for free this weekend.
There's just one catch. NewsLink Indiana's Madeline Boldery has the story.
Saturday, September 30th marks National Public Lands Day. State parks all throughout Indiana are looking to participate in this nationwide event. State parks in Indiana are letting in the community for free on Saturday if they volunteer and help clean the park. Locally at Summit Lake State Park in Newcastle, they are asking the community to come out and help clean the state park.
So lots of state parks have activities such as cleaning up or crafts, games, stuff like that to kind of get the community involved and help volunteer in our parks and help us, maintain our parks because we can't do it without volunteers like you guys.
Specifically for Summit Lake State Park, on Friday they are asking the public to come out for free and meet at the boat dock to help clean the lake for the many wildlife in the park.
Meet down there at 9 o'clock. We can get everybody outfitted with canoes, kayaks. We've got a few boats with small motors, trash grabbers, buckets, gloves, everything that you could need, and set you out onto the lake for free to go and help clean up the shoreline and see our lake from the best point of view.
On Saturday, they are focusing more on the trails and will hand out resources to pick up the trash at the Nature Center. Reporting in Muncie, Madeline Boldery, NewsLink, Indiana.
For a full list of your local state parks and their events, you can go online to calendar.dnr.in.gov. Joe, could you tell us more about our weather coming up?
Yeah, right now a look over McKinley Avenue reveals dark skies, but the skies are very sunny today. We're currently at 75 degrees. We'll have a full update in the forecast after the break.
Can you help me with this? My new dad teaches me all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
He helps me with homework.
That would be 3.6795.
Thanks.
Yep.
He helps me with my decision making.
I wouldn't use this one. Ever.
And he's even teaching me how to drive.
And that's why cars have bumpers.
I'm learning so much.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are.
They're coming. Places, everybody.
Light check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Everything looks good on our end.
And lights.
Come alive with the forest. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest near you.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Of all the things you've done with your bike, donating it to Goodwill may be the most incredible of all. Your donations help fund job placement and training for people in your community, which means your stuff can be more powerful than you think. Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana.
And yeah, let's just say it was definitely hot outside.
It was.
We were sweating. So today I was walking to class, okay? And no joke, I was just sweating all the way there in the suit. But of course, Joe, as you're about to tell us, it doesn't look like it's going to be getting cooler anytime soon.
Yeah, guys, the warm temperatures are expected to persist throughout the week. Today we saw a scorcher. Right now, temperatures have backed off a little bit. We're at 75 degrees with calm winds. It feels like it's 75 outside, so a pretty comfortable night here in Muncie after a day that was, as Tyler said, a very, very warm day here. Current temperatures around the state, 75 in Muncie, 83, a little bit warmer in the state capital of Indianapolis, 76 in Kokomo, 75 down in Bloomington. So really a nice Thursday night here in central Indiana. Tracking the temps through time, if you're getting ready for an early class tomorrow, you will not need a jacket. It will be approximately in the low 70s. For your lunch plans tomorrow, temperatures will be up in the mid 80s, upper 80s. We can't rule out a 90 tomorrow afternoon. And temperatures should subside in time for your dinner plans and your late night plans on Friday. The Muggy meter is a representation of how uncomfortable it will be outside because of the moisture content. Tomorrow, we're looking at muggy conditions, maybe steamy conditions that'll persist through the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. This is a representation of how much moisture is in the air. This dome of warm air that is over us is going to persist, and it's going to lead to some health impacts. If you're going outdoors over the next 3 or 4 days, you're going to want to make sure you're hydrated. You want to make sure you're prepared for this because with it being late September, a lot of people are not prepared for the heat impacts that can cause exhaustion and heat stroke. Make sure you hydrate throughout the day because it will be very warm and uncomfortable. For tonight, we'll have temperatures down around 70 degrees. It'll be calm. And tomorrow is our first day of autumn. It's hard to believe it with the temperatures that are out there. We're going to see 90 degrees for our high temperature tomorrow. We'll cool off to the lower 70s for tomorrow night. For your 7-day forecast, we're expecting 80 degrees, temperatures in the upper 80s through the weekend under sunny skies. We'll have a cold front move through the area in middle of the week, Wednesday into Thursday. We could see some rain chances with that. The big thing to point out here is while the temperatures are very hot, your low temperatures are also very above average for this time of year. It's summer-like conditions, and we will be sure to make sure that your weather conditions are set.
Wow, like that weather, it's just getting to me every single time. Just walk outside and you're just sweating.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's very warm. It's very unseasonable for this time of year. We're not used to seeing this with it already being September 21st. 3 weeks ago, we were outside with 3 layers on, and now we're here just at the end of September with 90-degree temperatures.
We'll definitely complain, though, when it's cold, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
All righty.
Absolutely.
So moving on to sports, Ben, what could you tell us?
Well, Kingwat, tonight we're going to be previewing women's volleyball as they gear up for the beginning of MAC play on Friday, and we highlight the high school football matchup between Delta and Newcastle coming up after the break.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know, wherever you are.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but things changed. Teaching didn't seem that cool anymore, so you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Amazing things are happening in teaching, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Ben Shern with sports. Tomorrow marks the start of MAC play for Ball State women's volleyball. NewsLink's Kara Biernack caught up with the team before they leave for Michigan.
The Ball State women's volleyball team will head north this weekend as they kick off Mid-American Conference play against Eastern and Central Michigan. Head coach Kelly Miller would like to see the momentum that she's seen from her team all season carry over into MAC play.
When you get into conference season, you just know it's a grind, and you just have to have those people out there that love the grind, that love to compete, and it's something that you don't shy away from. It's what you want. It's what you play for. It's the reason that you get out there, and I think, we've got a group of girls that love to compete.
The Cardinals will enter the second half of their season with an 8-5 record after completing a tough non-conference schedule. Coming off a weekend with a pair of wins over Evansville and Duquesne, the team is fully prepared to compete in some more high-intensity matches.
Good volleyball is really fun to play. So, in these matches that are going to be really close, MAC team's all really good. It's going to be really fun, and that's what we've been preparing for. In practice right now, we're doing 22-22, trying to get ready for those tight matches, tight games. And it just gives us a little adrenaline, gives us a little bit pump up, ready to go, because MAC is super duper fun.
Friday's match against Eastern Michigan will be at 3 p.m., followed by a Saturday match against Central Michigan at 8 p.m. From Worthern Arena, Kara Burnett, NewsLink Indiana.
Thanks, Kara. Hopefully the Cardinals start their conference play on the right foot. Now it's time to highlight our high school football game of the week. This week we are featuring two offensive powerhouses, the Delta Eagles and the Newcastle Trojans. The matchup features the best teams in the state in rushing and passing. Delta has to change their scheme in practice this week for Newcastle. Majority of their games this season have featured rush-heavy teams, but Newcastle poses a passing threat on Friday. Junior linebacker Brady Peace says that the team is used to making these changes week to week.
We played a lot of teams that like to run the ball, but a team likes to spread out like that. We just have to. Obviously, there's a lot of changes week to week, but especially this week with a dominantly passing team. So all of us, linebackers like myself, we've been changing our game plan a little bit.
The Trojans' offense features the best passing quarterback in Indiana, Nia Williamson. Williamson has thrown for nearly 2,000 yards in 5 games this season. Head coach Kyle York said that the team's success has to do with getting better week to week.
Every game's a win, and I tell our team that we're not looking for one-game seasons, no matter when or where or what the scenario is. Our goal as a team is to get better every time we step on the field, whether it's practice, whether it's game, or whether it's working out in the weight room. We have a goal of getting better every day.
And finally, Johnny Watts was named the Mid-American Conference Men's Golfer of the Week. Watts finished third at the Eastern Kentucky Invitational while also having a career best score with a score of 65.
Wow, that's amazing.
Oh my gosh. I don't actually know that much about golf, but that
all I know is that the lower the score, the better.
Yeah, that's all I got going.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
One thing you want to do in life that you want to shoot low for, so.
All right, coming up, an accident at Yankee Stadium Wednesday left a young girl hospitalized.
And Taco Bell is looking to expand its menu in the coming years. More on that after the break.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
Cook foods to the right temperature using a food thermometer. 3,000 Americans will die from food poisoning this year. Keep your family safer. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
So, I got this new family, and I don't know what it is about this one, but she can't seem to put down that toy all day long. Tap, 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 tap. Oh, and she even talks to it. She talks to that more than she talks to him. What's up, bro? Nice shirt. Who's she talking to? Her mom? She talks to her mom a lot.
You wanted to be a teacher when you were little, but things changed. Teaching didn't seem that cool anymore, so you decided to become something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Amazing things are happening in teaching, so it's time to put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Welcome back. Time now for our new trending segment.
And joining us live right now is NewsLink Indiana's Katie Parker. Katie, good evening.
Thanks, guys. Let's take a look at what's making trending headlines now. A young girl was taken to the hospital after being hit by a 105-mile-per-hour foul ball Wednesday night at Yankee Stadium. The New York Yankees took on the Minnesota Twins when the accident took place. Todd Frazier hit a foul ball into the seats above the dugout, stopping the game for about 5 minutes while the little girl received medical attention. Here's what he had to say following the game.
It was terrible, shaking up a little bit, and I don't know really what happened. I hope she's all right, but it was just something that I wish never happened. It was tough. It was tough to watch and tough to be a part of, to be honest.
So it turns out the little girl did end up going to the hospital, but her dad did say today that she's doing all right.
Oh my gosh, that is so good to hear. That is a hard hit for such a young person to get in the head, too.
You know, I know, and I actually also read today that the Yankee Stadium is putting up safety nets to help with these future issues. And I know that in the past they've had, broken bats and other baseballs that have flown and hit the spectators, and so that's just, it's a dangerous area to be in, but
definitely awesome though to hear that she's doing okay, because it could have ended much worse than it did.
Absolutely.
Exactly, yeah. And now on to some lighter news. It's been announced that Taco Bell is making some changes in the coming years involving beer and wine. Taco Bell is planning to open 350 cantina-style restaurants over the next 5 years, selling alcohol. Because of this change, the fast food chain indicated they are getting rid of their drive-through services. Several of the newly renovated locations include Nashville, New York, Pittsburgh, and Detroit. Their first announcement to incorporate booze came in 2015, starting with beer, wine, sangria, and twisted freezes.
Well, me and Sam, we're both under the age of 21. Hopefully, though, it'll get here by the time we turn 21 here to Indiana.
Well, I turned 21 in December, and I don't think it will be built by then, but fingers crossed. And
Absolutely.
My boyfriend is watching, and I think that might be a good date night.
Ooh,
I don't know,
absolutely.
Maybe with their, kind of renovating and making it more of a restaurant, maybe they will make their food better as well.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully it's here by the time we graduate. If not, I'll probably have to make a trek back to Muncie just to do that.
Well, hopefully they'll even build one in Indiana.
Absolutely.
They haven't announced that yet, but yeah, so.
All right, moving on. We're going to take one more look at weather.
I love the Taco Bell idea, but I'm definitely going to hope that the temperatures are a little cooler by the time that opens up in the winter. For your forecast going forward through the weekend, we'll see temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. We'll see sunny skies throughout. We'll see temperatures hang around in the low to mid 80s through Tuesday and Wednesday before a cold front makes its way through the area on Wednesday. We'll see a chance of rain on Tuesday. But the big story is hot temperatures, summer-like temperatures. Get a hold of it, because this is the last hit of summer before fall makes its swing next weekend.
Well, I am really hoping that fall weather can come back just a little bit sooner. I was just about ready to go home and get my fall clothes, but I guess I'll have to hold off on that.
I agree. I'm not a big fan of the hot weather for sure.
All right, well, that is all for us tonight. Thank you for tuning in to NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to watch tomorrow night at 9 right here on Cardinal Vision or online at ballstatedaily.com.
And also, be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. Have a good night, everyone.
You've been watching NewsLink Indiana in high definition.